Evening YouTubers, Mark here, Watchtower Alert 2. Why am I on tonight? I was just itching to come back on and do another video. It's been a very long day. I've got a nice warm fire behind me. I'm down in my cellar. My wife's upstairs, the children are in bed. I've got a glass of wine. To all those that question everything, cheers. Oh, years ago I was told I couldn't even do that, but I am doing it now. Here we go. Why am I on? There's a number of things that we're both going to be talking about, my wife and I, but it's the gravity of it is to get these things out onto YouTube. Seems easy, but when you've lived and breathed this stuff since you were a child, and the way you're brought up with it as a child, it's suddenly not so easy to bring it out onto a camera. And I'm sure all those that have grown up with the Jehovah's Witnesses, the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society through the years, you'll understand what I mean. I'm 49 this year, and I can remember when I was 13 at senior school, crying my eyes out in the playground in front of my mates, who I wasn't allowed to have, but I had mates at school, looking at them knowing that they were dead. They were dead meat, and that somehow I was a survivor. And I spent the best part of my life looking at people, as do all children brought up by the witnesses, with this doom hanging over you, this thunderous God that's going to kill everybody, and you included if you make a mistake. And you live with this terrible, terrible dilemma of trying to enjoy your life as you get older, and everything becomes exciting as you leave school, watching your friends going off and getting careers and doing all the things that they would naturally want to do. Their life is in front of them, but then when we leave school, we're looking at the world as ending. It's about to end tomorrow, and everybody's dead. The birds will peck at your eyes. You're going to fall down big holes, as the Paradise book showed. And you live with this terror, and it's installed in you. And your parents install it in you because they think it's the right thing to do. They've tamed it down a little bit these days, but you can still see some of the pictures in some of their books, even from recent books and publications, as being quite horrendous, actually, in the day that we live. The psychological damage is absolutely unbelievable, and it takes a Jehovah's Witness to really know a Jehovah's Witness if you've lived and breathed it for many years, and you've seen the influence it has on you as a child and as a parent. And you don't want to replicate that on your own children, but you end up following certain routes and certain ways that you did as a child, because the message didn't change and hasn't changed. Prophecies come and go, predictions come and go, the governing body changes, but the machine carries on with the same perpetual doom and gloom. As I mentioned before, it's only later on that when you actually come out of it, the cocoon, and you start to understand what Jesus was talking about, and you simply listen to his message, and it's very different from the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society. We're doing a lot of reading, and the book I'm reading right now is this one. Ooh, some of those witnesses out there are looking at this. Gentile Times Reconsidered. Amazing stuff. An amazing book, allowing you to get some alternative information in here that absolutely blows the Watchtower out of the water. What is it based on? Well, believe it or not, it's actually based on evidence. Evidence. Lots and lots of evidence. I'm looking forward to doing maybe a couple of summaries on that in the future. But I think tonight I just wanted to share with those that are sympathetic to where I think I'm trying to come from, is We're looking for support too. We're coming out. We've been in recovery now for a couple of years, you know, even though we didn't announce it for a while until last November. But you still need to find people like yourself to look around and just think, we're so glad we're free, but we're so angry too. We're angry at the way it's robbed us of our childhood, the way it's robbed us of our innocence, the way it robbed us of being teenagers or young children and just being allowed to play without looking at everything as if it was dead. How dare you? Shame on you for doing that to us. All of us as witnesses, even those that are in, you know what I'm talking about. It doesn't make you happy. You certainly don't feel saved, as the scriptures talk about in Romans. You have to look deeper. And when you do start looking deeper, you start to realise we got it so wrong. I feel very passionate about the hypocrisy and the lies and the way that we've all been led down a garden path. It's so good to be free. I welcome all those that start to look at this stuff with fresh outlook. Have the courage of your own convictions. Even do it in private. Just have a look. Question whether or not you are in the faith. Have a good look at what you're involved with. See its history and use a little bit of critical thought. Lifton's report on mind control might be a good place to start before you start even doing research if you haven't done any yet. Look at how you're being controlled through the mind. When you start to establish some of that stuff, sink it in, and then you can go on and start developing some ideas of your own, because the world is your oyster. There is so much out there. Thank goodness for the beautiful internet, the superhighway, and listen to those. There are many out there that are experienced ex-witnesses that can help and will help you locally as well as worldwide. There's a massive army of us out there now. Message just to finish off to those that are probably going to be watching this from Bethel somewhere in either my country or in America. You belong to a very tired, already 130 years old, is it? It's a very tired religion, very tired. It's bereft of ideas. It's going round in circles. The people within it are now creaking to the bones with some of the things that they're seeing and hearing and now questioning themselves. One elder, a year before I resigned, was talking to me in such a way that I was gobsmacked. He would never admit it now, but he knows what I'm talking about. So it's everywhere, and you're tired, you're desperate, you're suing everybody if they mention or sneeze in the wrong direction. You're pathetic. By the way, if you want to sue us, we haven't got anything, so we'll go to jail rather than give in to you, and I promise you that. I would rather see someone saved through what we're doing than allow you to make me bend at my knees. That ain't gonna happen. Never. Not with you lot. But as brothers and sisters individually, I have nothing against you, and neither does my wife or anybody else. As we keep stressing, it's an organisation that we've got a problem with, and the way that it's feeding you with its absolute trash and keeping you suppressed. Do you know what's so beautiful? One last thing. I wake up in the morning now, especially on a Sunday, and think, oh my goodness, isn't it wonderful I don't have to go back in that Kingdom Hall today? How wonderful that is. I can now pick up my Bible and I smile when I read it. I smile and I pray for Holy Spirit, and it's wonderful. Do you know, I've even started meeting other Christians now from other denominations, and it's amazing. They listen to what I have to say. They're quite shocked. But we all come together and we have one thing in mind, and it's not about denominations, it's not about organisation, it's about looking what's in the Bible. What do you think from this? What do I think? And you know what? There is a clear lead. You think you don't need you need an organisation. You don't. What you need is Jesus Christ. And when you have Him, you don't need anything else. Holy Spirit, Jesus Christ, and the Bible. And a lot of prayer. Good night, everybody, and sorry to ramble on tonight, but I just wanted to talk to people out there. I had other things I wanted to quote, but there's just no point. I feel very sad for the years wasted, but I feel very excited about the future, and I suppose I should be looking forward, not backwards. Good night, everybody. Take care. Lots of prayer.